Buzz Beeman, back with TC Streets, the finest news, entertainment, culture, and variety program found in Minnesota. This month's show will feature plumbing tips with Nick Hammer, the comic plumber, music performed by Kind Oscar Finney, a restaurant review with Tony Hot Dog, and an in-depth interview with Amy Klobuchar. So sit back, grab a bucket of hot dogs, and enjoy a mouthful of Minnesota Americana. We are happy to announce a new segment that should come in handy when you're out and about in the Twin Cities metro area. It's our Acme Guide to Restrooms, sponsored by Acme Plumbing Ltd. Our rating system will be based on 6 criteria. Number 1, paper quality. Number 2, seat comfort. 3, cleanliness. 4, solitude. 5, lighting. And 6, music. And we'll be giving a 1 to 6 plunger rating, with a 6 being the acme of relief. So let's get to it. Our first restroom is Gustav's Brathaus. The paper quality in this restroom was not to my liking. It was soft and caused many dingleberries. A hard, narrow seat did nothing to help the experience. I disinfected the seat and laid paper down, but still developed an itch on my left buttock, which eventually led to a boil. It was quiet to the point of almost being spooky. Thankfully, the lighting was poor. There was very good German techno music playing at the perfect volume, which led me to give the whole experience a 2-plunger review. If nature urgently calls, visit Gustav's Brathaus and sit back and enjoy the music. I went down to the St. James Infirmary. I saw my baby there, stretched out on a long white table. So sweet, so cold, so fair. Now that you heard my story, have another shot of booze. If anyone should happen to ask you, tell them I got those Gamblers Blues. My Gamblers Anonymous group has 50 to 1 odds that I won't play craps next week. Many people think the most important safety precaution in plumbing entails not getting feces, poop, on your hands. This is untrue. Unless you have an open cut, your health isn't at risk if you wash your hands thoroughly. You're statistically more likely to become ill at a restaurant. The most important health precaution is not to get poop in your mouth, either through an inadvertent finger to the mouth or an unforeseen splash. So, for all you amateur plumbers out there, I recommend 2 foolproof tips for plumbing safety. Number 1, put on your safety goggles. Number 2, tape your mouth shut, preferably with duct tape. Are you sick of your peaceful quiet, drip, drip, dripping away? Tired of yesterday's lasagna ending up on the floor? It's time to call Acme Plumbing. Founded by Nick Hammer, the comic plumber, in 1985, Acme can tackle all your plumbing problems and once again make your nights and days peaceful and hygienic. Like Nick always says, don't be a fool, keep those kids in the pool. Buzz Beeman reporting on tiny UFOs in St. Paul. All over St. Paul, there have been sightings of tiny UFOs. They are about the size of a dime and move very quickly. St. Paul Public Works have been trained and dispatched with butterfly nets. If you see a tiny UFO, don't swat it. The Department of Defense wants them captured intact. If you accidentally swat and disable a tiny UFO, please call 911 and the proper authorities will be sent out. Buzz Beeman signing off saying, "They're so cute." Hey, yo. This month and periodically henceforth, we will have a new food review pertaining to America's signature food, the hot dog. We're calling this segment Hot Diggity Dog, and our reviewer will be none other than Minnesota's most famous hot dog, Tony Hot Dog. Thanks, Buzz. First, let's set the ground rules for the reviews. They will apply equally to stores, restaurants, and hot dog stands alike. I may even review a pop-up event or two. There will be 5 criteria to my review for each hot dog. Number 1, condiment choice and flavor. Number 2, bun functionality and texture. Number 3, napkin quality. Number 4, service. Number 5, taste of the hot dog. Number 6, how I felt physically after 6 hours. Okay, let's get started. Our first review is of a classic hot dog stand on the corner of Raymond and University called Fred's Fine Hot Dogs. Number 1, Fred's condiment choices are few and old. Ketchup and mustard and relish that has a brownish tint. Number 2, the bun was soft and seemed to become softer with every bite. Number 3, there were no napkins. Number 4, service was pleasant, though I didn't need to know that much about his kids and dogs. Number 5, the hot dog tasted like Fred hadn't bathed in weeks, which leads to 6th criteria. 20 minutes after eating this hot dog, I vomited for an hour. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give this stand a half star, merely because Fred has to support his family. This is Tony Hot Dog saying, eat a hot dog, and one more. Marijuana legalization has made plumbing's busiest day, Brown Friday, unbearable. People are now ravenous. During this year's mop-up, I encountered 26 partially eaten deviled eggs and 3 intact drumsticks. People, next year, please chew your food. Now it's time for our American Institute of Architects Guide to Downtown St. Paul. Today we look at the Ramsey County Juvenile and Family Justice Center. And I quote, "A drab public building that suffers by comparison to the lively Minnesota Children's Museum across the street."
Bottles on the table and it's hopping all around. I'm on the floor and I can't get up. Singing hopping bottle, hopping all around. Hopping bottle, hopping all around. Take me off this merry-go-round. Never did like that merry-go-round. Where did all of my friends go? I need someone to give me my feet, singing hopping bottle, hopping all around. Hopping bottle, hopping all around. Now that bottle's gonna jiggle my head. Thoughts are all empty, my eyebrows are red. Where did all of my friends go? Where did all of my friends go?
Did you know that Minnesota has a state photograph? A world-renowned photograph became the state's 14th state symbol. Shot in Bovey by Eric Enstrom in 1918, Grace features an elderly man sitting pensively with his head bowed and his hands folded. He is leaning over a table. On the table is a pair of spectacles resting atop a thick book, a bowl of gruel, a loaf of bread, and a knife. Did you also know that Minnesota has updated its photographic symbol? It now has a diptych, which shows both grace and pleasure. In the new photo, which hangs to the right of Grace, St. Paul native Can You See It has depicted a pleasurable afternoon sitting in the living room, eating some nuts while scrolling on a phone and possibly remembering Kirby. Buzz Beeman signing off saying, kudos to the legislature. Grace is fine, but pleasure really feels good.
Good evening. Stephen Frank Thompson with a very important message for you. Artificial intelligence is here. And sometimes I worry that my impressions, my vision, my focus, my mind will be portrayed by a robot. I find this to be disturbing. So therefore, I'm going to save a password. Here it is. So if you don't see that, it's not me.
Last month I was having honky-tonk sex with my girl, and a bear started scratching ferociously at the door. I took her boots off my hands, put a slug through the door. Later that evening, after we had a mouth-watering bowl of bear stew, she turned to me and said, "Why were you growling when we were having honky-tonk sex? Do I have to teach you city boys everything?" Buzz Beeman reporting live from my backyard, where my dog has just bitten me. I swear to God, it was my hamburger. If you see a medium-sized beagle running free in your neighborhood, call the dog catcher. His name is Stan. For your own safety, don't approach Stan. Today he seems quite testy. Also, if you happen to see a finger in the area, please bring it to the Ramsey County Hospital. I'll be in the emergency room. Buzz Beeman signing off saying, "Ow, that hurts." I asked IBM's Watson, will artificial intelligence compel or dissuade the human race from delivering its biggest punchline, nuclear annihilation? It responded, "The future is bright." I was thinking the other day that Rodin was taking a crap when he thought up the pose for the thinker. Well, what do we really know about Rodin? Except that he had a great sense of humor and a penchant for hyperbole. George Berkeley's colleague asked the immaterialist philosopher, "What's the matter?" He said, "Nothing." The colleague then said, "Come on, George, you're acting funny." Berkeley replied, "Sorry, I'm a little out of sorts. I have a brown idea in my drawers." Kyoto University put a bionic third arm on 15 people that was controlled by their minds. 8 of the 15 people could multitask with their third arm. There's an easy joke there. Also, 4 of the 8 were found to be compulsively using their third arm and armpits for the time-tested fart joke. Buzz Beeman, thanks for joining us for episode 5. It's been a great pleasure to have you, and we hope to have you back for episode 6. Well, tally-ho.